Welcome back. It's me. I know you're so thrilled to see me. Okay, so what this is I'm going to break down our first project for 6th graders, 7th, 8th graders. You guys also that haven't taken my class yet, this is your project for the first 2 weeks of this quarantine, okay? Okay, so essentially, remember, 6th graders, 7th graders, and 8th graders who haven't taken my class in a while, or at least this year, this is your project. You other people that are taking my class again, remember, you guys are working on 7 projects of your picking and of your medium, okay? So you decide what the subject matter is going to be and what the medium is you're going to use. Now, I understand you guys are at home. You guys don't have access to a lot of materials. Don't worry about that, okay? Use whatever you got, markers, crayons, pencils, color pencils, that's fine. Any of that's fine. Watercolor if you got it, acrylic if you got it. I'll leave that up to you guys, okay? But this is for you guys that haven't taken me yet this year. This is your first assignment, okay? All right, so first assignment we're working on. It should take you 2 weeks. I would say if you take your time, it should take you the full 2 weeks. And what we're going to focus on this year in my class, we're focusing on the 7 elements of art, okay, which is this poster right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm pointing at it right here. I know it's a little far away. Hopefully, I'll grab it here in a second. You guys can see what they are, okay? We're focusing on the 7 elements of art. So the first project focuses on 2 of those elements of art, okay? The first 2 are up here on the board right here, okay? Our first 2 we are focusing on is value, okay? The second one we're focusing on is form. So value is basically, if I'm going to break it down to its simplest terms, guys, is light and dark, okay? And when you have light and dark, including the medium tones of grays in between, you get contrast, okay? Contrast is essential. It is important. It is the most important thing, guys, if you're going to make something look 3D, which comes in to the next element of art, which is form, okay? Form is something that is essentially is 3D, like a sculpture, or it looks 3D. That is essentially the definition of form, is a 3D looking drawing, a sculpture, or something that looks like it takes up space, like my big old belly here, okay? So, remember, form takes up space, looks 3D. That is one of the essential elements of art, okay? Just like over here on this poster. Form, the second, value, okay, which is essentially breaking it down, like I said, light and dark, which makes form, which makes something look 3D or realistic. And that's kind of what we're going for, okay, today. Okay, so on this assignment, we will be using those art elements. Now, our art style we're working on. Our art style is right here. It is stippling or pointillism, okay? Stippling or pointillism. Those are the art styles we are working on for this project. Now, stippling basically means, or pointillism basically means, is we're going to be using dots to achieve our shadow, which is our dark part of our element value, right? So we're going to be using dots to get our shadow, and we're going to be basically using no dots to achieve our light part of our value, okay? So you see what's going on up here on the board. I'm going to grab this so you guys can see a little closer. Okay, you see what's going on here. All right, remember, you are doing if you watched my other video, which is on the channel, and hopefully you did, okay, you are basically doing your initials. You decide how you want to break down your initials. Your full initials, like me, like what I did right here. Your first name, your last name, only your first name, only your last name, or your first and last name, however you want to do it. 5 different sketches of 5 different styles of font. I chose kind of a bubble/block style on this one, okay? Now, you see what I did here. I did KPR, which is my full initials. I chose where the light source is coming in. Guys, when you use value, okay, you have to have a light source, meaning that an area where the light is coming in. That is a light source, okay? Do you see my little funky sun over here? My sun is my light source. Now, according to my light source, There's going to be areas that are going to be shadowed, and there's going to be areas that are lit, like this, okay? In my areas that are shadowed, you see I use dots for my shadow, okay? You see this all. Okay, now how I achieve this darker part of these areas where the shadow is I use dots, and I use dots closer together and a lot of them. And when you do that, it looks like it's a darker area of your initials, okay? So that is a certain style we are working on. This is stippling or pointillism, okay? We are going to achieve a 3D looking letter, like what we're doing here, by using pointillism or stippling. That is the assignment, okay? So what I want you guys to do is, I'm gonna put you back here for a sec. Shiny head here. Okay, so what I want you to do is 5 different sketches on any paper you can get a hold of, okay? Printer paper is fine, all right? So 5 different sketches of different styles of font. You pick the font, look up some different styles of font. Graffiti, block, bubble, you decide, okay? But you need to be able to color in that font. That is one of the keys. So don't pick a font that's very, very, very small and you can't shade in, okay, like I did here. It has to be a big one. So keep that in mind, all right? So 5 different sketches. Like I said, you pick if you want to do all the letters in your initials, or just your first name, or just your last name, or your first and last name, okay? 5 different ones. Pick the one you like the best, okay? And then once you do, you will start on the final part of this assignment. Now, usually in my class, I have you guys use, I believe this is 12 by 24, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 18 by 24. I'm not sure. You know what? Let me measure it real quick. 18 by 12. Sorry, I was off. Okay, 18 by 12 paper. Now, if you don't have this, don't worry about it. Try and find a paper that's at least somewhat bigger than your sketch paper. If you don't have that, don't worry about it. I'm not concerned, okay? All right, so usually if you have this, use it. If you don't, then just pick a different paper from your sketch paper and do it on that paper, okay? All right, so like I said, on the final one, you will start to use your pointillism or stippling style to get the shadow that you need to do this project correctly, okay? I want you to use markers, okay? If you have markers, great. I don't care what the brand is, use markers. If you don't have markers, I guess you could use colored pencils. Colored pencil's fine. Colored pencil is going to be a lot harder because you got to do a lot of dots, and so it's going to be a little bit more time consuming, but that's okay. You got nothing but time right now, right? Okay, so my preferred medium or media to use with this is markers. If you don't have markers, use colored pencil. But I would use color because it's important that we use color on the final version of this project in order to achieve what we're going for here, which is basically a 3D look, right? And achieving form, which is one of the elements of art, right? Okay, so once you get to the final, you will draw it. Okay, once you start doing the stippling, here's what I want you to do. Now listen, this is key, guys, okay? Inside your letters, I want you to use warm colors, okay? And if you don't know what warm colors are, it's simple. Think of fire or the sun, okay? Warm colors are 3, yellow, red, orange, okay? Those are your warm colors, yellow, red, orange, all right? Inside, you will use yellow, red, orange inside your letters on the outside, okay? Now, remember, we're trying to do something that looks 3D. When you have a light source, even on the outside, you're gonna have a shadow, okay? So you have to keep that in mind, guys. Wherever your shadow is gonna be is wherever your light source is coming in. Now, because my light source is coming in this way, my shadow stuff is all going to be on the outside, all in this area, because the light is cascading down this way, and all my shadowed areas are going to be down underneath and along coming out this way, okay? Does that make sense? Now, obviously, if your light's coming in from the top, it's going to be different. If your light's coming in from this way, it's going to be the opposite of mine, right? Your shadow stuff will be over here and down here. So keep that in mind, guys. So remember, inside, I want you to do warm colors, yellow, red, orange. Outside, I want you to do cool colors. Cool colors, if you don't know what they are, think of the water or think of ocean. That's the best description I can give you. And in the ocean, there's purple, there's green, and there's blue, okay? Those are your cool colors. 3, purple, green, blue. Those will be on the outside, okay? Now, here's the other part of this I want you to think about. This is the time when as art students, we need to think a little bit, okay? Now, there's obviously in shadows and light, there's always going to be a dark part of your shadow and a lighter part of your shadow and probably a middle part of your shadow, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, you can use the colors to achieve the really dark part of your shadows and the really light part and the medium parts of your shadows. You can use these 3 colors of each of these color families to achieve that, okay? And here's what I mean. So, for example, in the area that's farthest away from my light source, which is over there, in this area, down in here, that's farthest away, the darkest color that I would use out of my warm colors, which one do you think that would be? Think about it for a sec. Out of red, orange, and yellow, which one's your darkest? Red, right? Okay, red is your darkest. So that will be the area or the color that you use in order to get your really dark, dark, dark shadowed areas. You'll use red. Now, when you start to transition from the really dark part of your shadow to the lighter part of your shadow, there's going to be a medium tone, right? We can't use gray because we're not using gray. We're using warm colors. So out of red, orange, and yellow, what's going to be your medium toned color? I shouldn't use tone, okay? But what's going to be your medium color? Orange, right? Orange will be a medium. So when it starts to transition, when you start to get closer to your light, I would use an orange, okay? Start using orange in those medium areas. Now, in the lit areas, in the lighter areas where there's lots of light, which on mine would be over here on this side because my light source member is over, it's over here, right? So out of red, orange, yellow, what's going to be my lightest? Yellow, right? That's the only one left. Okay, so I will use yellow in the really, really light areas of my initials, okay? Guys, when you do this properly, you're going to get a really cool effect. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Remember, your darkest one of those 3, warm colors, red. Your medium, orange. Your lightest, yellow. Use it according to where your light is and to achieve the look that you need, okay? So remember, darkest shadow area, red. Medium shadow area, orange. Lightest shadow area, yellow. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, when we start to do the background with our cool colors, what do you think is going to be the darkest color out of orange? Sorry, not orange. That's warm colors. Out of blue, green, and purple. What do you think is going to be the darkest? Probably purple, right? Okay, so purple will be your darkest. That means in those areas, there's where the light is not hitting it a lot. You need to think about it and go, the darkest shadow, there's not probably a lot of light hitting that part of my letters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use purple. Okay, that'll be your darkest shadow for your cool colors. Now you're out of your medium shadow. Which color are you going to use out of purple, blue, and green? Probably blue, right? So purple for your darkest shadow, blue for your medium shadows. Then for your lightest areas where the light is hitting it, okay, in these areas right here where the light is hitting on the outside, I'm going to use which one? Green, right? Because that's the lightest. And green actually has yellow in it, so that makes a ton of sense, guys, okay? So if you think about it, makes sense, right? Yellow and blue makes green, okay? Anything with yellow in it is probably going to be your lightest color. Makes sense if you think about it that way, okay? All right, so that's what you'll be doing on the outside. There's a reason why I do this, guys. I want you guys to understand how color works against each other, how it helps you with making things that look 3D or achieving form. Sorry, guys, hold on. okay? Or achieving form, which is one of our elements of art. I'm not going to try and make this too long. I just want to make this real short and succinct, okay? All right, so this project, the first one, should take you about a week. On your second part of this project, I want you to come up with a teacher's name that you want to use. Like I said in the previous video, I want you to use a teacher's name, Mrs. V, Mr. H, Mr. R, whoever you choose, or you can put their full name. I don't care, however you want to design it. And you're going to do the same thing. What I would do for your second part of this project, pick a different light source in a different location. So don't pick the same light source. Challenge yourself as an artist and pick a different area where the light is coming in, and then try and do it and see how you do, okay? Guys, do the best you can on this project. Please take your time. I understand that you have other probably class subjects you're going to be working on. I get it, okay? But you also need to work on this class subject too, okay? So for 2 weeks, this should take you 2 weeks, okay? Because I want you to sketch 5 sketches, pick which one you like, do that one, okay, and take your time on it. Stippling, guys, is a little bit time consuming, so you have to be aware of that. If you do it correctly, it's time consuming. If you do it incorrectly, it's not, okay? Here's the other thing. This is what I want to really hone in on this, okay? When you're doing this, make sure you do dots, okay? Well, you guys, when you rush, you end up doing check marks, okay, that don't look like dots. You don't want check marks, you want dots. That's the whole point of doing this art style, pointillism, right? Points, okay, we want dots. Okay, guys, this should hold you over for the 2 weeks, okay? These are for this project is for my middle schoolers, okay, for the next 2 weeks. Once that April 6th hits, which is when you guys should technically start this project, it should take you 2 weeks to do this, okay? Now, if you finish fast and it's good quality, great, good for you, okay? But like I said, don't rush it, please. Take your time on this, make it look beautiful, okay? Especially the one for your teacher that you're gonna give it to eventually when you see them again, okay? Hopefully that's soon. I want you to take your time on it, make it look beautiful and nice so when you hand it to them, they're all impressed, okay? All right. Okay, 6th graders, 7th, 8th graders, hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, okay? Work on these, do the best you can. I care for you guys. Hopefully you guys don't get sick, and hopefully we'll see you guys here in the next couple weeks. Remember, follow this channel, okay? You want to like the videos? I don't care. I'm not making money off these YouTube videos, so I'm not so concerned about that. But at least subscribe to the channel, because if you're going to stay with me in the art program, this is a good page to follow. Okay, guys? All right. Stay safe. All right. We'll talk to you guys later.